Now, let's get to three things you need to know right now. We're just after midnight on Wednesday morning as we are tracking this storm.
Definitely want to be mindful of this right here. So we pulled this up for you to see as well and hear. So tornado watches, you've heard our weather team talk about this. The hurricane, not the only concern in the midst of this storm. Tornadoes also an issue. That watch is on until 6 o'clock this morning. Also storm surge. You've heard us talk a lot about that, and for good reason. Then flash flooding as the bands continue to reach different parts of our viewing area. Even if you're not along coastal areas, well, you're going to have to worry about the flooding that comes in from some of the low-lying areas inland.
All right, our Angelina Salcido is in Hernando County live for us right now. Angie, it looks pretty brutal out there.
Yeah, you guys are talking about rain. You guys are also talking about storm surge. The wind also a concern here. Over the last few hours, we've really started to see the conditions deteriorate. The wind picking up, as you can see, in these sheets of rain, really just making their way in here. If Daisy pans up with me, you're really going to get a scope as to what the winds are doing right now. We are at Bay Point Park. There is a pier here that is actually pretty popular for people to come fishing and for people to also just come see. This is at the mouth of the Watchy River here in Hernando County. I'm going to have Daisy walk with me so that we can take you to the water. When we first got here, the water levels were actually pretty low. Those water levels starting to pick up as we start to see the water surge. High tide is supposed to be at around 2 to 3 a.m. here. If we point to the pier, you're going to be able to see the water levels starting to pick up and just see that a lot more water is filling this area. This was pretty low a few hours ago when we first got here. So I'm told by the emergency management director that their peak high tide is going to be at 2 to 3 a.m. That's going to be at 3.9 feet. On top of that 3.9 feet, they're expecting to see 6 to 9 feet of water. That is something that Hernando County hasn't seen. We had Hurricane Hermine hit here back in 2016. It actually took out the pier that you guys just took a look at, and that pier was rebuilt in 2020. It took them that long to get back to this point. We're hoping, obviously, that we don't see that again, but a lot of the people that live in this area have to come down Cortez Boulevard in order for them to get by the water here. Watchy River, the Gulf of Mexico also by here, and all of these homes that happen to be on stilts as well are surrounded by canals, and that's what makes this storm so dangerous for the people that chose not to evacuate. Spoke with the emergency management director not too long ago. He did tell me that about 80% of their coastal communities did end up evacuating. That is a number that is higher than what they were expecting, so they're pretty happy to see that. We have about 219 people that are in shelters right now and about 76 people that are in shelters with their pets. So people did heed the warning from the emergency management directors, but here in Hernando County, these conditions are going to continue to deteriorate throughout the night. We're really going to be able to see these winds pick up even more, the rain as well, as we go through the early morning hours and into sunrise tomorrow morning. A lot of people are going to be waking up surrounded by water. The emergency management director here, the sheriff's office, and the fire department as well, just hoping that everyone stays safe. We're live in Hernando County. Angelina Salcido from Tampa Bay.
I heard you say there are about 80% of the people in that area evacuated. We know that this is a situation with that system, wind and rain shifting rapidly. How long would you say that that's been the case there, that it started coming down like it is right now? Because we just saw your photographer trying to wipe the lens there to make sure we could keep your shot.
Yeah. It has really started to pick up, I would say, about in like the last 30 minutes or so. When we first got here, it was probably around 11. It was raining, but it wasn't raining this hard. When we spoke to the emergency management director earlier today, he said that he expected the conditions to really start deteriorating and for the winds to start picking up at around 12 a.m. We're at that point right now, so this is what they were expecting.
At that point, we will keep you safe out there in a safe space. Thank you, Angie.